Hey guys, this is Fang/VA here, coming at you with another Sonic Tuesday Sonic lore video. It's been a while, so I figured since with the new Sonic movie coming out on April 8th of this year, I figured we would dive into everything that the film has in terms of its game lore. So, I'm doing this for the newer fans and for, veterans of the series that want to get caught up if you've forgotten some things. So as always, I want to credit the Sonic News Network for this, because it helps me stay organized and all that. And if you're new here, definitely make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, let's get started, shall we? The Master Emerald is an object that appears in the Sonic the Hedgehog series. It is a massive green emerald and a mystical relic of immeasurable power from the Forgotten Past. Created by the gods, the Master Emerald acts as a counter to the Chaos Emeralds. The one who controls the Master Emerald can nullify and control the Chaos Emeralds, making the Master Emerald a very valuable gem. The Master Emerald rests on Angel Island, where its power keep the island afloat. In the sky, without it, the island will fall down over the last 4 millennia. The Master Emerald has been guarded by the surviving echidnas of the Knuckles clan, who has kept the gem safe from those seeking it for their own gain. In the present day, its current guardian is Knuckles the Echidna. The Master Emerald is renowned as the most powerful relic on Earth, surpassing even that of the Chaos Emeralds, which are said to bestow ultimate power. It holds unbound and infinite power in the form of extremely potent and raw chaos energy, which can be harnessed to empower machinery, enable chaos powers, and transform, they gain the super form. Like the Chaos Emerald, its powers can also be harnessed to perform certain reality warping feats, such as transporting Onyx Island through time and restoring a planet shattered with chaos control. As its primary function, the Master Emerald contains special powers that lets it nullify and control the Chaos Emerald energies. This granted it the ability to either completely shut down the Chaos Emerald's energies or potentially amplify their power. However, it is only those from the Knuckles clan, such as Knuckles and Tikal, who can harness the full potential of the Master Emerald and communicate with it to unlock his powers. These guardians must, on most occasions, recite Tikal's prayer. Like the Chaos Emerald, the Master Emerald seems to possess some sort of sentience. It appears on its own in an attempt to stop a rampaging emerald, and it can create 3-dimensional holographic images within itself to communicate. In addition, if the Master Emerald is shattered into several pieces, it can repair itself. If its shards are brought back together, it can repair itself if its shards are brought back together. However, shattering the Master Emerald seems to give these shards an explosive trajectory, causing them to fly a great distance, which makes the task of gathering them rather painstaking. The Master Emerald is a unique transcendental object that exists simultaneously in all timelines across the time-space continuum. That means should the Master Emerald disappear in one time frame, it would cause a chain reaction that would make it vanish from all existing time frames. The background: the Master Emerald has existed since before recorded time, so its origins is shrouded in mystery. It is said that it was created by the gods as a balance against the power of the Chaos Emeralds, after they saw people use them for evil, and equipped the gem with the ability to nullify and control the Chaos Emeralds. Should anybody attempt to misuse them, an ancient mantra associated with the Emeralds eventually arose to explain their connection and abilities. Over 4,000 years ago, the Master Emerald and the Chaos Emeralds resided in the Altar of the Emeralds, a shrine in the outskirts of the Mystic Rooms where a colony of child lived peacefully. The shrine was protected by a sacred barrier, preventing anyone from taking the emeralds. However, a resident child encountered the Master Emerald and got mutated into the the mystical water beast Chaos, who became the guardian of the shrine, inhabitants, and emeralds. As the ancient Knuckles clan arose, the members would revere the Master Emerald as sacred. It was around 4,000 years ago that Tikal, the daughter of Cheek, Pachacamac, or something like that, of the Knuckles clan, and a friend to the child Chaos, was allowed into the shrine. There she saw the Master Emerald and understood its role from her clan's manager. I'm sorry if I said Tikal's dad's name wrong. I'll have my editor put the name on the screen. So, as the Knuckles clan faced extermination at the hands of the Nocturnus clan, Pachacamac and his followers launched a raid on the altar to steal the emeralds and gain undisputed power. Tikal stood between them, however, begging her people to leave the creatures and the emerald in peace. However, her pleas fell on deaf ears, and the men trampled over Tikal and the child alike, in the process prompting Chaos to appear and wiped out most of the clan in a fit of rage as perfect chaos. The creature out of control and poised to destroy the world, Tikal prayed to the Master Emerald to stop Chaos. In response, the gem sealed both Chaos and Tikal inside itself in the process. It created an energy surge that ripped off a large part of land, and it floated into the sky where it would float with the remaining echidnas, creating Angel Island. With the Master Emerald keeping the island airborne, the surviving members of the Knuckles clan would devote themselves to protecting the prize gem in hopes of preventing a tragedy like the Chaos incident from occurring again. Throughout history, many people tried to steal the Master Emerald, and each time they were thwarted. Over the centuries, the few surviving members of Knuckles' clan became even fewer until only Knuckles the Echidna remained, brought into the world to guard the Master Emerald. Knuckles assumed this role, knowing from innate knowledge that this was a purpose, and spent his life in solitude, pretty much. In Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and its add-on continuation Sonic & Knuckles, the Master Emerald came under threat when the Daffy crashed onto Angel Island. Knuckles encounters the ship creator and pilot Dr. Robotnik, who convinced the slightly gullible Echidna that Sonic the Hedgehog and Miles Tail Prowler, both on the Doctor's tail, were evildoers coming to steal the Master Emerald. In truth, Robotnik plotted to steal the Master Emerald himself and use it as a power source to relaunch the Death Egg. During their adventure, Sonic and Tails stumbled upon the entrance to the Master Emerald's hiding place in the Hidden Power Zone, where Knuckles went to check on it. Riddled with questions upon seeing the Master Gen, Sonic and Tails left to get answers. As Knuckles went to confront Sonic upon their arrival at the shrine, Robotnik made his move and stole the Master Emerald, much to Knuckles' humiliation at realizing he had been tricked. The Master Emerald allowed Robotnik to relaunch the Death Egg, but Sonic and Tails got on board his ship to reclaim the gem. Using a giant mech powered by the Master Emerald, Robotnik hoped to defeat Sonic, but he still lost and tried escaping with the gem into space. However, Supersonic, or now they forgot to put this, but I think canon-wise it was Supersonic. Or if you got all the Super Emeralds, it was Hypersonic that destroyed the final weapon, but it doesn't matter. Destroyed Eggman's final weapon, and Sonic returned to the surface, Master Emerald in hand, and brought it back to Angel Island, allowing it to arise once again. It was not long before that the Master Emerald was stolen again, this time by the Egg Robo, seemingly under the command of Mecha Sonic. Knuckles pursued the Master Emerald to Sky Sanctuary Zone, where Mecha Sonic used the Master Emerald's power to attain its own super state. However, because it was unable to properly maintain its super state, Knuckles defeated Mecha Sonic and reclaimed the Master Emerald. Timing it perfectly, Sonic appeared in his biplane to help Knuckles back home, and the Master Emerald was again brought back to Angel Island. In an alternate ending in the game, where all the Chaos Emeralds are failed to be collected, Knuckles would lose the Master Emerald after the battle, as Angel Island descends into the sea. Sonic Adventure. The Master Emerald appeared again in Sonic Adventure, where it was again shown keeping Angel Island afloat. The Emerald also held within it the ancient monster known as Chaos, along with the ancient controller of the Master Emerald and the Chaos Emeralds, and in a kin of female named Tikal. In the game, it was shattered by Dr. Robotnik to release Chaos, causing Angel Island to fall. In the duration of the game's story arc, Knuckles collects the shadow pieces of the Master Emerald from a variety of locations and ultimately repairs the Emerald. Sonic Adventure 2. The Master Emerald was again a source of contention as Knuckles fought with Rouge the Bat for possession of it in Sonic Adventure 2. Dr. Eggman, Robotnik, because during the time of the Adventure series, they actually changed Robotnik's name in America to Dr. Eggman, because in Japan his name was always Dr. Eggman. That was always a bit of a point of contention for Sonic fans, because you have the people that prefer the Dr. Robotnik name. But then, canonically, Eggman is actually just a nickname, I believe. For possession in Sonic Adventure 2, Dr. Eggman tried to steal it again while they were distracted, but Knuckles purposely shattered the Emerald in order to keep it out of his hands. Knuckles and Rouge then set off separately together the shards of the Emerald for their own reasons. He managed to recover most of the Emerald shards, although after they briefly collided with an asteroid and opened up the cargo bay of a space shuttle, he was forced to ditch his friends and nearly killed them by crashing the shuttle. In order to recover the lost Emerald shards, Rouge later discovers this and attempts to exploit this to get several of the Emerald shards for herself, culminating in a fight between the two. However, after Knuckles saved her from falling into a lava pit during their confrontation, she grudgingly supplied him with the remaining Emerald shards, rationalizing that she was not fond of them anyways. Once all the pieces had been collected, the Emerald was reformed by Knuckles when Space Colony Arc started to fall due to a automatic system when all 7 Chaos Emeralds were gathered in the central control room. Knuckles used the Master Emerald to try to stop the disaster in the Eclipse Cannon's core, which resembled the Emerald Shrine on Angel Island, to negate the Chaos Emerald's power. In Sonic Battle, when Sonic went to fight Emerald on the Death Egg, he brought the Master Emerald with him, hoping it would negate the Chaos Emeralds that powered Emerald. However, the Master Emerald was shattered by a crazed Emerald as he was bothered by the light it produced. It was most likely put together again as it appears in Sonic Advance 3, which takes place after Sonic Battle. The Master Emerald had a somewhat important role in Sonic Advance 3. After Eggman uses Chaos Control to split the world into 7 parts, Sonic and Tails travel to the Master Emerald in order to use its power to induce Chaos Control and undo the changes. After the heroes find it, the final bosses then fought at the Master Emerald altar. After the boss is defeated, the Master Emerald releases a bright light and repairs the world. Sonic rival Eggman Nega, however you want to say it, masquerading as Eggman, stole the Master Emerald and used a special camera to turn it into a card, forcing Knuckles to find him and get it back. As Knuckles pursued Nega, the Doctor stated that the Master Emerald exists in all timelines simultaneously, so when he transformed the Emerald into a card in one moment in time, it disappeared from all other timelines, including the present. After Knuckles pursued Eggman Nega and defeated him at the latter's base at outer space, Knuckles was able to recover the Master Emerald. In Sonic Rivals 2, the Master Emerald was once again stolen. Working with Rouge, Knuckles uses an animal detector he found to help locate the Master Emerald without luck. As it is revealed at the end of the game, the Master Emerald is in fact inside the detector. In Sonic Chronicles The Dark Brotherhood, Pyrovix, however you want to say it, once again I'll put that name down below. Well, my editor will. Well, in the video itself, uses the Master Emerald to create a gateway to the Twilight Cage, and at the end of the game, he used either the Chaos Emeralds, the Master Emerald, or the power of Nocturne itself to achieve his Super State. Later, Knuckles takes the Emerald back. In Sonic Runners, the Master Emerald was hidden away by Knuckles in a lava temple, but was later stolen by Dr. Eggman. Once he caught news of this, Knuckles hunted Eggman down, but when Eggman tried to escape with the Master Emerald. Knuckles smashed it into several Master Emerald fragments to prevent the theft. With its fragments scattered everywhere, Team Sonic began tracking them down while keeping them from Dr. Eggman and his lackey Metal Sonic. After a grueling hunt, Team Sonic got all the fragments back, and Knuckles brought them back to the Lava Temple, where he reassembled the Master Emerald. However, there was still the problem of guarding the Master Emerald from Eggman while Knuckles was away. Fortunately, the local animals and Omochao offered their help, and they proved their usefulness by driving off Eggman when he tried stealing the Master Emerald again. So, pretty much, Omochao was actually useful for once. Other game appearances. Sonic Heroes. The Master Emerald played no role in Sonic Heroes, but it was mentioned by Rouge the Bat in the last movie, Team Dark Story. She says she will steal it because Knuckles is not protecting it. Shadow responds, hinting that he remembered her rivalry with Knuckles. At the ending of the final story, Rouge mentions hunting for someone else's treasure, with Knuckles deducing after hearing the remark that she's going to steal the Master Emerald and proceeds to chase her. Eggman mentions the Master Emerald in Sonic Rider Zero Gravity when clearing Mission 4 of Astral Babylon within Extreme Rank. In Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, Knuckles' All-Star move uses the Master Emerald. It is revealed that Knuckles can use the Master Emerald to absorb power. In this increased power state, Knuckles is able to fly above the ground and charge up energy in his right fist. This huge buildup of energy allows him to punch the ground so hard that everyone on the track will be hurt and bounce up into the air. In this state, Knuckles also has increased speed, which can be used to get closer to first place. In Sonic and All-Star Racing Transformed, the Master Emerald appears when Knuckles uses his All-Star state in this game. He can use the Master Emerald's power to use an energy attack similar to Shadow's Chaos Blast. Size dispute. The Master Emerald's size and shape seem to change over time in games such as Sonic & Knuckles and Sonic Adventure. The Master Emerald is fairly larger than Knuckles, while in other games such as Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Chronicles The Dark Brotherhood depicts it as being about the same size as a Chaos Emerald. While these appearances may seem to contradict themselves, it is actually a demonstration of the Master Emerald's ability to change its size according to its owner's will. This is firmly demonstrated by Knuckles in Sonic Adventure 2. After Knuckles restores the Master Emerald, he is able to shrink it down to the size of his hand. Then after Shadow defeats the Bio Lizard, Knuckles puts the Master Emerald into the core of the space carrying arc, where he is able to enlarge it to a size slightly larger than himself. In other media, Sonic X. In Sonic X, the Master Emerald is a powerful jewel originating from a parallel Earth. Much like in the games, it is guarded by Knuckles the Echidna, and it holds the power to control the Chaos Emeralds. When Knuckles was transported to Earth, he spent most of his time looking for a way back home to continue protecting the Master Emerald. Ironically, the Master Emerald came to him when it was transported to Earth during a giant chaos control. There, it came under Knuckles' protection again. Eventually, though, the Master Emerald and everything from its world were returned home when their presence threatened to freeze time. 6 months later, the Master Emerald was used to power the Blue Typhoon, which Sonic and Co. used to travel around the galaxy and battle the Metarex. In the final battle with Dark Oak, the Metarex's leader, Knuckles, was forced to sacrifice the Master Emerald, leaving it shattered and powerless for the time being. Books and comics. In Sonic the Comic, the Master Emerald is not an eighth emerald separate from the main group of 7, but is rather the Green Chaos Emerald at the peak of its power. While it is the most powerful of them all, it does not have the powers to control the others, this role being filled by the Grey Emerald. As in other communities, the floating island will fall out of the sky if it does not have the Master Emerald to power it, although this does not happen immediately, but rather over a course of hours. Originally created by the Drakens, the Master Emerald was claimed by the Echidnas during the next millennia. The Master Emerald and 5 of the Chaos Emeralds got split into on Mobius. On Mobius, they were targeted by Dr. Robotnik, while Sonic and the Freedom Fighters kept them safe. In one of Robotnik's failed attempts to seize the emeralds, the Master Emerald and the other Chaos Emeralds were rejoined with their missing halves and left on the floating island to be guarded by Knuckles. While multiple factions came to the island seeking the emeralds, Dr. Zachary's attempt shattered the Master Emerald. Knuckles had to contain its energies in a broken robot until he found a new emerald for them. Archie Comics. In the Sonic the Hedgehog comic series and a spin-off published by Archie Comics, the Master Emerald was created after Tails used the Chaos Siphon to collect the energies of Mammoth, Mogul, and Enerjack's Chaos Emeralds, and merge them with the two that were keeping Angel Island afloat. As a result, the Master Emerald has the power of 14 Chaos Emeralds, as with the Chaos Emeralds that kept the island afloat before it. The Master Emerald was protected by the Brotherhood of Guardians. After its creation, the Master Emerald would be targeted by several villains, such as Dr. Eggman, Scourge the Hedgehog, and Dr. Finitivis. However you say his name, there's some weird names in Sonic. While the number of his guardians dwindled, it was also the only emerald to be rescued by Adam, summoned during the Great Harmony when Dr. Finitivis, however you say it, used the Master Emeralds to turn Knuckles the Echidna into the fourth Enerjack. Sonic used it to become Supersonic to hold up Enerjack long enough for Locke to use the Master Emerald to restore Knuckles, though at the cost of his own life. After that, Knuckles remained as the only guardian of the Master Emerald left. Following the Super Genesis wave, which is what pretty much killed the Archie comics, by the way, along with the lawsuit by Ken Penders. I mean, I'm not gonna, totally not salty since I prefer the Archie comics over the other Sonic comic series, but whatever. The Master Emerald's origins and history match that of its game counterparts. During the Shadow War crisis, Knuckles the Echidna was forced to shadow it to keep it from being taken, and spent the remainder of the crisis reassembling it. Well, I guess it's time for me to plug Project Archie. As always, if there's anyone that wants to join in on Project Archie, to where we'll be dubbing every single Archie comic, including the Super Genesis Wave stuff, then definitely comment down below and I will send you to, I would have to make a new Discord for it, but yeah, we will invite you to that Discord. So yeah. IDW. In the Sonic the Hedgehog comic series and spin-offs published by IDW Publishing, the Master Emerald is a mythical emerald of great power that keeps Angel Island afloat in the skies. In this media, the past is virtually identical to its game's counterparts up until after the events of Sonic Forces. Prior to the comic storyline, Knuckles had to leave his post as a guardian of the Master Emerald in order to fight in the Eggman War. After the war, Neo Metal Sonic conquered Angel Island during Knuckles' absence and took control of the Master Emerald, which he used to transform into Super Neo Metal Sonic, and then Master Overlord. Ultimately, however, Knuckles managed to retrieve the Master Emerald and return it to Angel Island. And of course now, the film. In the Sonic the Hedgehog film series produced by Paramount Pictures, the Master Emerald is a source of ultimate power discovered by Dr. Robotnik. And I gotta say, too, from the trailer, they did a good job replicating it. Alright. Trivia. In the Nick Arcade and Simon White prototype version of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, there is a large green emerald in Hidden Power Zone, which was often believed to be the Master Emerald. However, it was just a rod that Sonic could break to enter the tube that is below. In the 2013 re-release, a spring was hidden in it, and Proto Power Zone, the emerald warps the player back to the level select if they stand on it. The Master Emerald that appears in to cause visions in Sonic Adventure moves up and down and is much darker than the Master Emerald that appears elsewhere in the games. In Sonic Adventure, after beating the game, the player can visit the Emerald Altar on Angel Island and see the incomplete Master Emerald with a small chunk missing as a select few characters. However, in Knuckles and Super Sonic story, it is 100% complete. Which, to be honest, I always kind of found that amusing, that it was incomplete with the other stories. If the player performs a glitch with Tails' Sonic Adventure to get him through to the other side area of Angel Island, the Master Emerald completely disappears from the altar. It is possible that the Master Emerald, much like the Chaos Emeralds, is sentient, as Knuckles has been seen talking to the Master Emerald a few times, and in Sonic Adventure, the Master Emerald showed Knuckles a holographic image of the egg carrier when he found the remaining pieces of the Master Emerald. The Master Emerald and the Green Chaos Emerald are the only two emeralds to be green like emeralds in real life. Since its debut, since its debut, the Master Emerald has not been featured in any game where Knuckles does not appear. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you all enjoy the lore of the Master Emerald, which is super important in the Sonic series. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all have enjoyed this first episode of this new mini series of lore we're gonna be doing for like the next several weeks, and I'll be seeing you all in the next video. What's up, everyone? This is Fane/VA here, coming at you with a new predictions video. I do this every single year. I've started doing it back when Sonic Frontiers first released, and to say that one of the things I said in there was completely wrong is an understatement. So if people want to know what I mean by that, the clip will be appearing right now. Swore up and down that they probably wasn't going to put out a new game, and they totally shocked me when they announced Sonic Superstars. And as you can see, Sonic Superstars was announced in 2023. Yeah, I got humbled pretty quick. So that is why I try not to make game predictions anymore. That's why I say what they could potentially do for games. I'm not going to be like, oh well, there's not going to be no new Sonic games for next year, because I don't know. Because I've been wrong before, and as it turns out, if I even say that, I could be wrong again. So, anyways, welcome to the 2025 edition of what Sega could be planning for this coming up year for Sonic the Hedgehog. So, the only thing we know we have left coming this month is we have the Movie Shadow DLC. We also have Sonic Movie 3 coming out. And that's all we know for right now. They could announce some more DLC for Sonic X Shadow Generations. They could give us some new skins, which I would love new skins for both Sonic and Shadow and Classic Sonic. I would love a Sonic Adventure 2 skin for Sonic and Shadow. I would love a Sonic 06 skin for both of them. For Classic Sonic, I would like to see maybe American Classic Sonic. That'd be really cool. There are so many skins that they could do. That would be fantastic. So yeah, so all we know for sure is that Movie Shadow DLC is dropping this month alongside Movie 3. February of 2025, we know that, I believe it's February. Let me fact check that, you guys, because I did pre-register for it. Because, fun fact, if you all also pre-register for it, if we get enough pre-registers, we're going to be getting a Movie Sonic skin. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it comes out on February 28th, 2025. So those are the three things that we do know. Along with all the various events that they've probably had planned for all the other mobile games like Sonic Dash, Sonic Dash Plus, Sonic Forces Speed Battle, which honestly that game should maybe have a name change in my opinion. And Sonic Dream Team. So, let's get into the definite things that's going to be coming. Probably some new issues for IDW Comics. There's probably going to be a new omnibus of the previous comics, which I still need to get Volume 3 and Volume 4 for that. So, we could potentially see a teaser for a announcement of a new maybe spin-off show for the Sonic movie franchise. What that spin-off could be, who knows? It could be a season 2 of Knuckles. It could be, maybe something that focuses on maybe a character's past, or maybe could even focus on Agent Stone. Now that would be cool, wouldn't it? Maybe see what he's been up to before he met Eggman. That'd be pretty cool for a spinoff. We could potentially start seeing maybe some leaks, something of Sonic Movie 4. That's a possibility. Probably not full on teases for it, but probably more like maybe some maybe like an announcement of it coming or what have you. But again, that's in the gray area. It could happen, it could not happen. I'm only basing that on by previous events, like after Sonic 2, we got the Knuckles show, and then now we're getting Sonic Movie 3. So I figured they could do a spin-off and then give us another movie. Now, TV show wise, it would be cool if we got a full-on anime style Sonic show again. Kind of like Sonic OVA and Sonic X. And I think, in all honesty, I think that the animation team that worked on the opening for Sonic Mania or Sonic Origins should definitely work on it. Or better, better yet, give me a Sonic show with the animation style of Shadow Dark Beginnings. That's what I want to see. If I can get me a Sonic anime inspired by the Sonic Riders opening art style, give me a show based around the animation of Shadow Dark Beginnings. There's probably going to be new merch. That's to be expected. There's always merch for Sonic coming out. Now for the tricky part. Games. Now, I was right and kind of wrong that I was half right and half wrong because people. I think I said in my last prediction, I said that we will probably get a remaster or a spin-off game, but probably not a new game. We did kind of get a new game with Shadow Generations, so I was half right and half wrong. I'm really enjoying Sonic X Shadow Generations. The only thing I don't like I said previously, I don't like the fact that there is a minor censorship with Rouge. But I'm not that bothered by it. Like, I'm not gonna go on Twitter and or be like make a video about it and start making certain videos I'm sure that you all have seen on this platform. Pretty much rage baiting videos. So what I think we could get game-wise is definitely a spinoff. I think that spinoff could also even be a remaster of the Sonic Riders games. With some new content. Because the reason why I feel this way is because of the fact that in the I think it's the last IDW arc, they focus on like Sonic Rider stuff, kinda. If I'm understanding it correctly. I'm so behind on the IDW comics, you guys, because like I said, like even though I enjoy the IDW comics, I'm perfectly okay with collecting the omnibuses for them to keep up because I don't really have space to hold a bunch of comics. I really don't. Um, I say that, and yet I have almost the complete collection for the Archie Sonic comics, at least pre-reboot. But that's another thing too, is that the Archie Sonic comics are still the timeline I prefer. I understand that the IDW comics is more canon. I understand that there was a lot of controversy surrounding the Archie comics. I totally get that. However, this is how I feel. It's what I prefer. Let me have my own. What I'm pretty much trying to say is, I'm gonna like what I like. You guys can like what you like, and that's perfectly fine. Because I never said that I dislike the IDW comics. All I said just now is that I prefer the Archie comics. Which, speaking of which, I would love to see IDW re-release the Archie Sonic comics. I don't know if they will, because of the fact that they would have to somehow get around a certain controversial person that worked on those, especially since the same person copyrighted Scourge the Hedgehog. But again, this isn't a drama video, so I'm not going to get too much into that. If you all want to know about that, there's probably plenty of articles and videos you can find of it. But games, if we do end up getting a new game, I do think that it's going to be a 2D style game. I do think it's going to be kind of like, a Sonic Superstar, Sonic Mania sort of thing. Something to tie us over until the next mainline 3D Sonic game comes out, which the fact is that I love all eras of Sonic. I love playing the classic games, but I also love playing the modern games. So I think if we do, I can see them bringing back the developers of Superstars, or who knows. Christian Whitehead could come back and we could get Sonic Mania 2, basically, which would be amazing. But if we got a sequel to Sonic Superstars, I would be okay with that, because I do like Superstars. It's just give us an option to turn on lives and continues, which that's the one thing I'm happy about with Sonic X Shadow Generations, that they made that an option for Sonic Generations. So I definitely do appreciate Sega for maybe watching my video, but I'm sure it's one of those things that they probably saw people complaining about Sonic Origins not having that in the anniversary mode. That's one of my big problems with Sonic Origins. So, but if we do end up getting Sonic Frontiers 2, then that's fantastic. Sonic Frontiers came out in 2022, so it would be 3 years, considering the fact that since they brought out Sonic Shadow Generations, which is in the same engine, it features the same sort of formula as Frontiers almost. Then they pretty much know how the new engine works. So they should be in full-on development of the new 3D Sonic game. And I'm not saying I don't know any leaks. I don't have any insiders inside Sega telling me stuff. I'm basing that off of, again, timeline reasons. But then again, with us having Shadow Generations, I can't see us getting Sonic Frontiers 2 next year. I think My gut's telling me we're going to get Sonic Frontiers 2 either in 2026 or 2027. It'll probably be announced next year, but I don't think that we'll be getting it until 2026 or 2027. Because they announced Sonic Frontiers in 2021 and we didn't get it until 2022. So, yeah, that's it for my predictions. I think I've made some very safe choices. One other thing with the games, if they do give us a new compilation of games, I think with the delisting of Sonic the Fighters on Xbox, actually it's going to be tomorrow actually when they do that, and also with the Dreamcast collection. So that means Sonic, the first Sonic adventure will also be delisted. I do think that could maybe be signs that they could be planning something with those games. Maybe maybe they could be doing like a Sonic 3D Origin sort of thing. Because they're also delisting the Sonic Genesis collection, so there has to be a reason for that. Because this is kind of random for them to be doing this, unless it's a licensing thing. But I do think that this could be a sign to something coming in 2025 as well. But this is just me putting on a tinfoil hat. So yeah, if you're new here, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that bell button. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video. Later, guys.